going to reading the poem My Survival Story, which was the winner for this state level NAMI Poetry Contest 2020. My Survival Story. The slow cleaving in my backbone, the seamless transformation, branching into my thousand selves like a sapling breaking from the blind seed. I'm sprouting, I'm thriving. Growing like a Medusa, this fecundity of myself, breaking out into thousand versions of me, morphing into shapes, perfecting the art of topiary. Like a reflection of the summer sun, shining into a million versions of me, on shards of broken mirror, blessing them with its apricity. I am the war cry, the mortal fear, residing behind the enemy lines, the lava, the primordial gel, creating life so sublime. I am the knowledge in the verse. I am the smattering cacophony of your mind. With ink breaths and walnut skin, boisterous, unfettered, and uncontrolled, walking barefoot on this graveled path, unspooling life's fear in its intimate corridors. My pale impaled on the stars in the night sky, I shine through my pulverized skin. The broken pieces I foraged together to make a whole of me, an untrammeled beauty within. This fecundity is my survival instinct to handle the plethora of emotions life throws at me. Undulating between the proximity and prosody of pain, I'm learning. Yes, I'm growing. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you, Megha. Okay, we're gonna move on to, we're gonna read like about 5 more people before we go to Matthew Hubert. Deborah Clearman, Samuel Ashkenazi, Joshua Corwin, Harvey Sauce. Okay. Okay, so we have Deborah Clearman.
I'm here. And
yay, okay.
Thank you so much to Gear Austin for inviting me. This has been so inspiring. I'm going to read from my novel Remedios, which just came out last month, a prose writer amongst poets. It's the story, it's set in Guatemala. It's the story of a middle-class Guatemalan family shattered by the drug trade. I'm going to just read a short scene in the middle of the book. And an affair has been going on between Sandra and Memo for about a year. So, Sandra stepped out of the shower, wrapped a towel around herself, and looked through steam at the mirror. It was fogged. She wiped it with a corner of the towel and studied her reflection, looking for the lust angel. Her dark hair was still streaming. She let the beads of water flow down her back. Her cheeks were pink and glistening. Her lips were full and quivering with a smile. There he was, the lust angel, breathing in her face, his pink tongue poking through her teeth. She opened the towel and saw his red breath spread across her chest. She felt him spool a wire out from each nipple and give the wires a tug. She held her breath. Her eyes traveled down her torso in the steamy mirror and stroked the hollows between her thighs and pelvis. She felt fingertips, mouth, lips, brush across her abdomen, trace the stretch marks. She felt oxygen flow to her extremities. Her toes throbbed. Lust angel whispered, "You are beautiful." The door behind her in the mirror opened and Memo came in. He was dressed. He smiled at her in the mirror, that smile of his that tightened his thin lips but didn't touch his eyes. "Admiring yourself, Aphrodite?" he asked. He wrapped her wet hair around his fist and gently turned her to face him. "Time for me to go. Are you coming?" She dropped the towel, leaned into him, felt his body through his clothes. She felt wicked. She licked her tongue across his lips. They responded, grabbed hers. She felt the power of demanding, receiving, sucking, kissing. Then she came to herself, opened her eyes, and pulled back. I'd better get home before someone notices I'm missing. Just give me a minute to dry my hair. His hands had found her nipples. He gave them a pinch and stepped away. Don't be long, he said, going out. Her dryer hung next to the sink in the marble bathroom. She'd helped Memo pick the tiles, a pure and cloud-like white with the faintest luminous veining, a blameless white. She brushed the column of hot air through her hair, immersed in its roar. Amazing to her that no one had noticed the change in her, that she smiled at things that were not in the room, that she drifted through her days and her duties only half present, listening to a song no one else heard. She went to confession every week and told the priest her little sins. Bless you, my child, he said. Never, is that all? Isn't there something you're leaving out? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, please, thank you very much. Please keep the open within the 5-minute limit, please. I'm sorry, the 3-minute limit, please, because we have a lot of people to, on this list here. I'm trying to get through everybody. I'm going to give everybody a chance, okay? Thank you. Thank you, that was beautiful. Samuel Eskenazi? No? Okay. Joshua Corwin?
Hello.
Hi. Please keep it within 3 minutes, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I like to stand up while I read. This is from my book, Becoming Vulnerable, and about my experience with autism, addiction, sobriety, and spirituality. And by the way, I lectured at UCLA, was included in their syllabus. If you're a professor and looking for somebody, I give discounts for your university, thinking about summer or whatever classes. This is called Gratitude After Breakfast. I used to think meditation was a hoax, that enlightenment was for those interred in the ground. I used to think it was impossible to cease thinking for more than 5 seconds. I secretly believed I knew everything. I used to deem gratitude an unnecessary word. I hated to stretch my cheekbones into a smile. I was convinced everyone was a phony. I used to think I was the shit. I used to think I was a piece of shit. I would be paralyzed by fear for hours. I would argue with mirrors, threatening to pound my fists into the clear. I used to curse the reflection I feared. I used to stay up all night, dancing in sorrow, without consent, my entire body convulsing. I watched the sun rising sadness and despaired like a mourner, outside rising, inside dying. I used to not know if I was lying or telling the truth. I spent hours wrestling with my God, myself.